Hello everyone, welcome back to Rome 2 Total War House Julia the Next Generation, and we're continuing. Give you a quick summary of where we are. You can see that the Persians and the Egyptians are still giving us trouble. We're obviously the Egyptians here as well, and the Persians over there. We obviously got some areas, Mauritania down here. We can push through into Africa, places like that. So, generally speaking, it should be okay for us. We do have some incursions from enemy troops on the boot of Italy, and we will need to take those two areas back as well. Now, for those of you who are wondering, a large majority of these kind of battles that I'm going to be doing, if it's a one-sided battle, as in, you know, like loads of troops attacking just a small garrison, I am going to auto-resolve that because it's just going to be boring as hell for you guys to watch. So a majority of them will be auto-resolve while I essentially try and get a handle on the situation and push the enemy back in multiple directions. Predominantly it's going to be the Persians, and I mean these guys really are not really much of an issue. Those guys that we're allied with, these guys have been battered into submission quite significantly, and obviously Armenia we may need to deal with later, but predominantly it's going to be Persia and those Egyptian gits. So you can see here we got some forces, and we're due to restart a or do another turn, I should say. So you know, generally speaking, this is a recoverable situation. We just need to pick our fights and try and deal with the enemy as best we can. Now, obviously, that's quite a fat army there. Now, money-wise, yeah, we're not doing too bad. I mean, the issue that we're having is food. Now, if I remember rightly, yeah, we are building additional fishing areas to sort of improve the general situation where the food is concerned. So, in that regard, the food shortage will stop the problems that we're having in that regard. See, there you go, there's another one, Neapolis. And you've got Pavatium here, or Patavium. And we've got, you know, basically good armies looking to lock in on there. You're not going to see any kind of naval combat from me, because I don't really like the naval combat in the game. And, you know, it's going to be an absolute trial as far as I'm concerned. So, there's no point inflicting it on you guys as well. So, I mean, generally speaking, looking at the map, I mean, this area, obviously Spain, they're relatively okay. We've got to watch out for any incursions by these guys. This is going to be the problematical area here, because they will keep coming over from Calamodunum just to screw up my shit, so to speak. So, in that regard, it's going to be interesting to sort of fight them off from both directions. But if I can get enough forces sort of up into that area, and I'm not being attacked from too many directions, then that will be a good situation for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the turn. Right, so we've got some skills that need addressing. Let's see. So the Invicta. Let's have a look. So their guy, we'll keep them up as formidable fighters. And we'll give him the commander thing, because that's a good thing to have. Let's see, anything else? No, I think that's it. So you can see some of my spies still sniffing around now. Interesting.
Harmony offers you peace or unending death. A wise man would take the offered peace.
Okay, we're going to take the peace offer because we can always break it later on when we're stronger, which we are going to do. But it also means that we can kind of sort out our reinforcements. We can get rid of the influence of the Egyptians if possible. And then come back essentially to batter the snot out of them. Which is really the situation we want to get to.
Only the greatest dare speak of peace to their enemies.
Okay, and we'll accept that because that means then essentially we're not fighting a battle on two fronts. So that will be advantageous to us. However, Persia are going to be dicks and continue to battle. So this gentleman has increased in rank. Oh dear, we've lost the general. And you can see the attrition report. Minus 18 food. Yeah, not great. Food shortage in Rome. And let's select one of these guys here. There we go. So, you've got the likes of these guys. He's 1 star. He's a 2 star.
At your command.
Let's assassinate him, shall we?
I will see it done. Well, it's not all.
And we failed. Okay.
Do anything for Rome.
Well, hopefully, yes, you would. Now, let's see, because... So we've got Apollonia, Epidamnos. Now, we could bring these guys round. Ugh. No, they won't be able to move any further, to be honest. I'm just happy to get them there so that they can get some renewal on their numbers. Okay, so obviously, one, we're still building the fishing. Let's bring this guy into here. Now, that means that it will be a better situation for us. We've also got this fellow here. Let's upgrade him. And what can we add in? Let's add in another legionary cohort, because then a full-size army will be able to take a smaller size army, and they're pretty battered anyway, so once we've completed the recruitment, it's a very possible thing that we could send him out to just essentially deal with those guys. So, yeah, that would be an advantageous thing. Let's stick a Shrine of Jupiter in there. So, yeah, money's okay-ish, you know, I mean, we're not doing brilliantly, but we're not doing too badly under the circumstances. But we've obviously still got the food shortage issue. Now, let's have a look and see what else is going on. So you've got this army here, which we just looked at. And so Athens is pushing back against these guys, which is good, because they're our allies. That's good to see. There's obviously this area here, nearby Persia and the Puli. Now, in an ideal situation, we don't really want to sort of overstretch ourselves, really. We could potentially take one of these armies. We'll let them recover their numbers, I think, before we start actually faffing around. Right, so we've done that. I don't think there's much else we can do. I want to make sure that these armies reinforce their numbers before I kind of make any move towards Lilybaeum, because obviously we're still at war with these guys. So, that will help sort of remove any, like a forward operating base essentially for the Persians. Then it could be a case of moving there and denying them that as well, because that would be helpful to sort of deal with any kind of problems. Now, it might be that we need to bring these guys up here to reinforce Delminium. Now, if we bring them in, then we can bring them out, obviously, down here, help defend Navissos, and then push into Malva. Now, that means essentially helping to deal with that sort of encampment for the Persians. And then, obviously, we can use these guys here to essentially recover their numbers and then assist them in the push in towards Lilybaeum. Now, we've obviously got a few Persian armies sort of on boats knocking around. We'll have to wait and see what they do. We are not really worried about those guys. It's really sort of these fellows, the Persians, really. But it's possible that the Persians may sue for peace on the next turn, or at least somewhere in the next few turns, in which case that'll give us a little bit of a breather that we can then rebuild our forces, rebuild the numbers, get them up to full strength, and then start kicking their asses. Because that's the situation that we want to get to, is that we want to essentially kick out Persia from there, Egypt from there, and then literally make our way down through here. These guys will act as a barrier between Persia and our forces. Also, you can see here Athens proving themselves to be good allies, at least until we attack them, which probably is only a matter of time. Eventually, once we've dealt with everything, I don't know, we might leave Athens in place. You know, you've still got some Egyptians are holding on to Sparta, so whether or not they're going to do something about that, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. But really, a majority of our attention is going to be sort of focused down in Africa, making our way through Africa, down through Ethiopia to the Arabian Peninsula. And we'll have to try and essentially deal with all of the issues relating to that. I mean, I know what's going to happen. Egypt, where eventually when we attack them, they'll just keep suing for peace, suing for peace, suing for peace, suing for peace. And we are going to completely ignore them and wipe them out to a man. Because they attacked us when we were weak. They took advantage of us. And we ain't having that, sunshine. Now that I do hate bullies, basically, which is essentially the thing. So they bullied us at a time when we were vulnerable. Now we're back and big and stronger. The boot is on the other foot. Let's end the turn. Oh, we got some skills. Septimus, Herminus, Vento. Let's have a look to see what old Seppi's sorting out. Now, he is... Oh, he's a general kind of guy. Now, let's have a look. Zeal. Good. Let's get that. And let's get that so we can avoid enemy agents, which is nice. So, it's still going to be a few turns until the food issue is dealt with. And there we go. See, they're sniffing around the centre of Italy. Now, whether or not that's going to be a problem, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. See, Jerusalem, there's the Persians. Ah, there we go, in towards Corrales, that sort of area. Alliance broken. Oh. Oh, that's an interesting turn up. So this guy's increased in rank. And there's the attrition reports. Food shortage. One of our counter the rumours. Here we go. Now, let's see. Let's get our fellow back in there and do military training. Now, because of the issue with the food, everybody's suffering right now. Now, let's see, because... yeah, see, 6 turns for Iada. Aluminium. See, Neapolis is okay. Aluminium, see, 5 turns. Let's see, Genua. They're actually at a dry dock. Alia, there we go. Yeah, that'll be 8 turns. That'll give us 3 more food. And these guys, obviously, Corrales. That'll give us some more food as well. So it means that we're going to suffer a bit of attrition for the time being. Let's get him into there while we sort the food issue out. Now, as a result of that, it means that essentially we really want to keep our troops where they are. We don't want them sort of out in the field taking more attrition than is truly necessary. Now, it's possible we may lose some generals as a result of this attrition, but we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Now, one thing I want to do is Minerva. Okay, so Shrine of Mars. Okay. Now, there is... obviously, what I want to be able to do is to get the Maximus. Circus Maximus. Nope, okay. Because that will be required, I believe, for a victory. So let's have a look, see. So we got that. So we don't have that, we don't have that, we don't have that. So we don't have Armenia or Africa or Britannia yet. Economic, cultural victory. See, Egyptus, Hellas, Syria. Now, let's have a look. So there's still all those areas there. Look at all that, see? So, these are all the rewards that we will get. Ultimately control 20 provinces. So we'll get there in the end. And let's have a look. So there's still sort of cultural stuff and all the rest of it. So, now, let's see. So we're going to take some damage for the next sort of 5 or 6 turns due to the lack of food. Now, let's see, because Rome... So this is the Temple of Mars. Now, it enables the building of a Basilica of Mars, okay. And what enables you to build that? See, the Pantheon. Oh, lovely. That's quite sexy. Now, let's just see. Because we want to look at these ones here. So you can see that one there. You've got the Shrine of Jupiter, Minerva, Vulcan, Mars, Neptune. Now, let's see. See, that leads to the Pantheon. I'm pretty sure there's some other things in here. See, also leading to the Pantheon. So it enables you to build certain things. See, enables these buildings here. So, I mean, we'll look into that. But I kind of want to make sure that I build the Circus Maximus at Rome. So let's end the turn. Oh, more skills. Faustus. So let's give Faustus a Priest of Hercules. And let's make him a Paragon of Virtue. There we go. I'm sure she will. Right, so German Confederation, we are sort of, generally speaking, neutral. There's nothing for us to worry about with them, at least yet. But that's not to say that that won't change. So we've lost one of our spies, oh dear, and we've been sabotaged. There's the attrition reports. More food, right, okay, so
Ready for orders.
what level is that guy? So he's a level 3. What level is our guy? He's that. So we are going to murder him.
The wolf is the gods must have
What?
a sense of humor.
Oh, for God's sake.
Ready for battle.
Let's get him into there. Now. Let's see. Minerva. So, at least now we're defending that area. So, let's have a look there. See. Okay. Concrete. How exciting. Okay. So, we are at peace with these guys, even though they're causing us problems. Now, let's have a look. They're okay there, they're okay there. There's nothing really I need to do at the moment.
My skills are yours.
Except get this lovely young lady into the Mediterranean. So what we'll do is we'll bring her down to here. So she'll make her way down there. In the meantime, yeah, look at this low numbers of these boys.
Ready for orders.
Pretty devastating
Ready for orders.
lack of food here in Rome, on the Roman Empire.
We hunger for
These guys are doing okay. Let's upgrade him. And let's go around. See, that's public squalor, but it gives us more food. Let's do that. Oh, amphitheatre. Let's go for an amphitheatre, shall we? There it gets built. So there's going to be amphitheatre built in there. Lovely. Okay. So I think that's all we can do right now. See, 4 more turns until the Piscarium is made. And let's see, are there any other areas that we can sort of make use of? So we don't really have the money to do that. And there's no port or no water there. So our options are limited with regard to that. Let's see. Can't make that at the moment. Excuse me. Well, that birdie gala. No, can't make them either. We'll have the money to do it on the next turn, and I'm going to sneeze. Oh. Internet-based phlegm ejection. How lovely. I knew you'd enjoy that. So that's the situation as it stands at the moment in the campaign. I hope it's not too boring for you. There is obviously much work still to be done. And we will kick their asses.